Oh, DD Nation! Don't you dare be sour. Clap for North London's finest and feel the power. Wow, I've been wanting to do this for a while. How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel. This is a show I've been wanting to do for ages, and it has been a spur of the moment show. I did say I'm going to be trying to bringing you out some more shorts, so I was actually just chilling, having a nice, easy evening, and then my brother from the same North London ends messaged me and said, you know what, let's have a football discussion and just review everything. So don't worry, that pod is still coming tomorrow night, but tonight, it's the first episode of North London Carnage. Allow me to introduce my guest tonight, Bram The Hotspur. Talk to me, my bro. How are you?
Good evening, viewers. Good evening, everybody. I'm good. Excited to be here. North London, us being rivals, but rivalry aside, we love sports. We love football. We love the game.
Man. I appreciate you messaging me to do this stream. Actually, it's not often that we get to actually, sit, touch base. So I appreciate you, my man. I appreciate you jumping on. I'm always up for a football chat.
Definitely. And the viewers, good evening to all the viewers.
True. I know, what I realized? We both have a chicken on our left side, although this is a French chicken. Let me just put that out there. No beach ball. Anyways, Bram, let's get into it. I think there's only one place to start. Spurs stunning City, blowing the title race wide open. What is it about you guys that you just know how to beat them? Do you think it's the contrasting styles with Spurs playing a counter-attacking formation and them going gun, or that they just play into your hands? What is it? How do you always have their number?
I think, like I said to you before, it's not a shock Spurs beating City. If you analyze football and you watch football, the result shouldn't be a shock to people. I said it, I think, on this podcast and on the Red Table before. A few years ago, Spurs' best performance was a 4-1 defeat to City at the Etihad. We seem to play our best football when we play them. I think they play into our hands with the style of football that they play. We go to Pep's comment about Bielsa being his philosopher on football. Sunday we saw exactly the same thing. Man United Leeds. Leeds played into United's hands with the style of football that they play. So both those teams will allow you to penetrate them where it hurts. But Spurs now, City have obviously got the better personnel, and that's clear and obvious. But I think if you put Bielsa in charge of City tomorrow, I think the result will probably be the same because of the style of football he plays. So I think for us, it's a case of Pep has got that stubborn nature about him. He's not going to change his tactics when he plays Spurs. He believes he's going to beat them with that style of football. And he seems to be coming short on a number of occasions against us. Leeds got hammered, I think, by Liverpool earlier in the season. United also beat them. Spurs beat them. The counter-attacking teams, they tend to take Leeds to the cleaners, and that is because of the way that they set up, the way that they play, the style of football that they play. So we'll see. Just not jumping off point. Watch Spurs struggle tonight. Burnley away. Burnley's not going to play into our hands. And Spurs kind of cheated. If you look at the first goal, both wingers were quite high on the pitch. City were coming at us. They were on top. The minute we got the ball, it was 2v2 when we won the ball. And look at the rest of the game as well. Our goals, our wide men were just cheating. They was literally standing in the space that was made vacant. That's Pep for you. That's his style of football, but good result for us. Doesn't change a thing because we are inconsistent. And I bet we're going to come to speaking about your team. We are just not the type of team that's going to challenge for top 4. But yeah, I think we've created some excitement for everybody else in the league.
And I see Beasters already coming on saying thank you for Saturday, Bram. Thank you. Look, title race blown wide open now. Top 4 race. One thing I did pick up is that we're gonna come on to the top four race, and look, we disagree on this one. I personally don't think we'll get top four, simply just because I think a telling factor behind it is the fact that you guys have a striker in Harry Kane. United have the firepower. And I mean, if I look at Lacazette over the weekend, there's three words that sum him up perfectly for me: pointless, useless, hopeless. And I think that's where we're going to fall short, personally. Um, but what did you make of Kane's performance and also Kulusevski's performance as well?
Harry Kane's performance, is he putting himself in the shop window? Simple as that. Is he putting himself in the shop window? The chances he took is the chances he missed. There's been many games that since Conte's come, he's missed numerous chances. He took the chances. He played well. One thing you want to remember about Harry Kane is he's not just a striker; he's a footballer. He demonstrated that on Saturday. If you're talking about just general football ability, he can play till he's 37, 38. And in the latter part of his 30s, he can drop into the 10 role. He can play in centre midfield. People go gung-ho about the wax lyrical about Kevin De Bruyne's passing ability in that role. I think Harry Kane's better. I think Harry Kane's much better. A better pass of the ball. He's definitely a better creator of goals, as he's shown. So, Kulusevski, for me, if we jump onto him, it's early days. Dev, we've seen newcomers to the Premier League. Liverpool fans about Diaz, be careful. Robinho was good at City while the sun was shining. As soon as the snow came down, he faded and never came back. Kulusevski, nobody knows him. He was a bench sitter at Juventus. So he's come at the right time. He's got enough games to sort of create a reputation for himself. We will see next season, full season. And we'll see, are you the real deal? Diaz at Liverpool as well seems to be doing well. No one knows him. No one knows you. The test comes after 10 games when people have kind of... Nicolas Pepe at Arsenal. He wasn't bad his first 5 games.
But look now.
Look at him now. Exactly. So we'll see before we start, using superlatives on players. Just give him a good chance. Tonight's a good test for him. He's gonna get kicked in the first 10 minutes. Let's see if he comes back. True.
I agree. Couldn't agree with you more. And what was fitting for me as well is, and why I say the striker is going to play such a huge role in this title race. If I look at it, if you swap Lukaku and Kane, just over the weekend's fixtures, you put Kane in Chelsea's team, Chelsea win that game way more than 1-0. You put Lukaku in Spurs' team, I don't think you win that game.
We'll be third in the league.
And you've been overcritical, I wouldn't say overcritical, but you've called
we'll be third in the league.
From the get-go, you called it from day one as well about Lukaku. But look, I want to ask you first and foremost, who do you think will get top 4? Look, I know there's still a lot of football to play. Anything can still happen as anybody's game. But who do you think will get top 4?
Arsenal will finish 4th. Arsenal will finish 4th. And I'm going to stand by the statement that I've made before. They're too young to understand the pressure that they're under. They're too young to understand that, and I know you speak about the striker issue. Man City are playing without a striker. Chelsea are basically operating without a striker. Can you call Mo Salah a striker? I don't think he's a striker.
No, I don't think so, bro.
So Arsenal have played without a striker for many games. Is a striker in today's football the focal point of any team? Is it the be-all and end-all of your team? I don't think so. Your goals are coming from various different individuals, right? And you look at those playing with strikers. Man United playing with a striker. West Ham strikers gone off the boil. They have gone off the boil. And that is because of the type of football and the style. The striker is still the focal point. You look at football today, it's no longer the be-all and end-all. Liverpool have operated without a striker since 2015 when, Firmino was the striker as such, but he wasn't really a striker. He's like Harry Kane, they're footballers. They are the link to everything that happens up front. So I don't think Arsenal should panic about the striker and not having a striker. And those youngsters have stepped up. Saka, Smith Rowe, the guy that I keep being disappointed that he gets dropped in midfield, is it Lokonga? Yeah, Tierney at left back. He's either creating or he's the reason why the goal comes. So Arsenal have got a lot in them. West Ham, for me, I spoke to you about this over the weekend. The Europa League, we've seen what it does to clubs that go far in that competition. Eventually, it catches up with you.
It catches up, yeah. It does.
I don't think Leicester's in the race. Wolves, dark horses. Dark horses. Thin squad, though, going into those last few games. Thin squad. They're still in the FA Cup. So it depends where their focus is. Do they want a trophy? And that's why for me, Arsenal have nothing to lose. Those youngsters don't know pain. They don't know disappointment. If they come fifth, they've had a good season. And that's why I think they've got enough within them. And they've shown it. That they'll probably sustain the race. Spurs are inconsistent. We're rating Spurs based on Pochettino Spurs. This is not Pochettino Spurs. If Ben Davies and Davison Sanchez is your first choice defenders, your club has a problem. Your club has a problem. If they are your first choice defenders, your club has a problem. They cannot be anybody's first choice. They are backup defenders, and they are starting for Spurs. That's the reason Spurs will never finish in the top four. You can't have backups playing in your defense.
Look, fair enough. I would again go with Benny on this one. I rate Spurs to get top four more than us, only just because of Conte. People can say we have those 3 games in hand, but those 3 games in hand is Wolves tomorrow night, it's Chelsea, and it's you guys. We haven't beaten you at your ground. Like, I can't even remember when last we've beaten you.
We've lost 4 derbies at home. We've lost more home games than away games. What are you afraid of?
It's a derby, my brother. Form goes out the window.
We lose derbies like it's going out of fashion.
That's amazing.
There's literally nothing, and this is what irks me as a Spurs fan. There is nothing to scare you about Spurs. I think Harry Kane literally played to remind Pep of what he can bring to them next season. I don't expect the same performance from him. Son will always be Son. Son is tired. You can see his legs is gone.
I'm going to ask you, do you think his legs are gone?
I think his legs is gone. He's the only one whose heart's in the club. He said he doesn't want to go. He's not going to go anywhere. I think he wants the team built around him, and I think his loyalty is going to be one of those guys going to regret being so loyal to Spurs. I'm a Spurs fan, but I'm a realist on top of it. Is that, I don't see us. I'll be shocked. Conte cannot be the reason that you say that Spurs are going to finish fourth.
I know what you mean.
Like I said, when you, it's like asking Lewis Hamilton to drive Formula 1 with a VTEC. Would you expect him to win the race?
No. Fair enough. I can hear that.
What would you expect him to do? What club sells it to highest or most expensive signing, sends him out on loan when you're trying to build a team? We send him to play ourselves.
Look at what we did. Look how we let players go left, right, and center.
But how do you send 2 players to go and play in the Champions League when you're trying to get there? Lascelles played last night for Villarreal in the Champions League, and Domble is playing in the Champions League. How do you do that?
We sold Aubameyang coming out of Europa League. Now he's playing in the Europa League and he scored a hat-trick over the weekend, my brother.
It's comical that as rivals, our clubs are run by. Are we going to go back in history? And yes, that's all that Spurs is history. You look in the 80s, there was only 3 clubs in English football: Spurs, Arsenal, and Liverpool. And how times have changed. We're talking about 25 years later. Both clubs, both North London clubs are
In the mud.
a shadow of what they were of
In
what
the
they were.
mud, my bro. I wanna touch on one thing though. I don't know if you saw the Granite Xhaka incident. What did you make of it? The reason why I'm asking is I personally sometimes I feel that Arsenal always have a scapegoat, and Granit Xhaka is the perfect scapegoat. Now everybody knows how I feel about him. I de- I defended him in three different groups with three different conversations what I had with people, and I said, look, I tried to reason it from one side. Look, obviously he didn't want it. The way it looked to me like he didn't want the armband because there was a throw-in at the time. But then this morning, I think Beast posted the video yesterday, and I also gave my take on it. And then I looked at it again. He rejected the armband twice, and Arteta came out and said he rejected the armband because it was originally allowed to go to Kieran Tierney. My take on it is before I ask you your opinion on it, irrespective, regardless of whether that armband must go to Tierney, you should at least take that armband and then you are better equipped to give it to Tierney because you're in the middle of the pitch, not Eddie and Ketia um, running around like a headless chicken and with the armband, and then afterwards, then the manager still comes out and says, "Now that is my issue with him, Bram. Like that is my issue with this Granit Xhaka. He's got no manners. Number one, he
Yeah.
feels self-entitled to everything. He thinks he's better than he is, and he's arrogant, and that's why I get so pissed off at him, honestly, because he epitomizes everything that is wrong with Arsenal, and Arteta stands up for him. But what did you make about the incident?
I think that once again boils down to some players today. They have no. The badge means nothing. It's about the salary, and it's
Exactly.
about their portfolio growing at the club that they are at. Um, Name any of the top 8 clubs Granit Xhaka would force his way into their starting 11.
None of them. And that's me being honest. None
He'll,
of them.
he'll, he'll struggle. Although I do rate him as a player, he'll struggle. I don't think that he takes Arsenal as a football club seriously. I think he's fortunate to be at a big club like Arsenal. Um, and I think that he needs to realize when he threw the armband the last time when he walked off the field. I mean, he
Mm.
walked off in the middle of a game, didn't he? When he was substituted, and he just walked him in through the armband. Arsenal have been lenient towards him to get him back into the club. I still blame your fan base in the UK for the reason why people have that opinion of him. It's
Of course.
forced him to react the way that he does, but it
He
doesn't.
has
It
done,
means
yes.
as a grown man and you have manners, you don't do that. Those people
Mm.
are one sitting in jail, one's grow up. But that
Mm.
shows
You know what
again
I
the,
mean?
the badge. The badge means nothing to him.
Mm.
He's bad.
Exactly.
He's toxic. He's toxic for your team.
And that's the thing. This is why, this is why I actually on Saturday when I was watching and I saw the entire incident. This is what I said in his defense, actually, like Jada's mentioning here, because he threw the armband to the ground. He was afraid of the reaction, so I could understand where he's coming from. But then when I heard he rejected it twice, I don't know, my bro. Anyway, title race. Let's talk title race. How do you see it going? It's wide open now. Liverpool play Leeds tonight. Do you still see City taking it?
I think the game City Liverpool is going to be a deciding factor. Fortunately for the title race, they've got a couple of games before they play each other, and one of the games is the Manchester Derby. And I speak under question, is it United Liverpool before the Man City game? The Man City Liverpool
Yeah,
game's in April. It's closer to the end of the
it's closer to
season.
the end. It's closer to the end, yeah.
So, so the way things are going, I would love it to be a case of 3 points between the two clubs and not six.
Mm.
Because with 6 points, City being City, the defeat against Spurs means nothing. They'll dust it off and they'll just continue on their merry way. So hopefully they get, hopefully United do something extraordinary against them. to reduce it, and I think that could be an epic battle on the 9th of April. City Liverpool
Mm.
with 3 points off a gram turns into like a cup final. Do you know what I mean? But
Mm.
if it's 6 points, going into that game and City still ahead by 6 points, Pep will take the 5. The drop the 1 point, drop the lead to 5. Knowing Liverpool, he needs to lose twice for Liverpool to catch him. I don't think there's a
Exactly.
team. I don't think there's enough teams in the league to go around beating him, and that's a sad thing.
Exactly.
So before we all go mad about the title races open, there's all ifs and buts,
Mm.
and it's the fact that they haven't run away with the league by now because they want course to run away with the league.
Mm.
So there's enough football leading up to that. The most interesting thing is going to be the top 4 race, but I think it'll be a toss race between those two.
Mm.
I have a sneaky feeling it's going to go down to the last day.
I also don't know. I also have that exact same feeling.
I think everything's going to go down to the last day. People wrote up that this season is going to be an epic season because of Lukaku going to Chelsea, Ronaldo being at United, and that fuse blew out quickly. But I think what's going to go down to the last day is possibly the league title. City maybe just needing a draw to win it. The top 4 race, I think, is going to go down to the last game, and then the relegation battle. I can see Leeds creeping into the relegation battle as well. I can see.
We're coming on to
There's a
that
lot of
as
twists.
well.
There's a lot of twists and turns, but yeah, I think the top 4 race is more interesting this season than anything else. I don't think United's gonna make it. Unfortunately, the United fans.
You
Don't
like
let
taking
Sunday-
shots at United.
No. Listen. Let's call it as it is. Let's not be fooled by Sunday's victory. Let's not be fooled that Spurs are going to pull off that same performance tonight, and that City is going to continue to capitulate. The weekend's results, great, it's fine, but we know this league. League is tough. This is the toughest league in world football. Bentancur at Spurs said he's never been so tired after 90 minutes of football.
So relentless it is.
Exactly.
I want to touch on this question. Sorry to break your word. I want to touch on this question actually. Before we come on to Phil Foden's mom, which is actually a funny video. Which I want to touch on. Yeah. The interesting thing is, do you think that this is the year that Pep now really needs to win the Champions League?
Manchester City are novices when it comes to the Champions League. People need to understand that. Your money doesn't overnight make you a European threat. Right? You need to Arsenal played 20 years in the Champions League, achieved 1 final.
Exactly.
We were there 5 years and we got to a final. Just putting it out there, just to let you know, 20
No,
years
but
meant
that's
nothing.
a fact. That's a fact.
So City's money over the last 10 years, it didn't necessarily make them a European powerhouse. PSG's money has not necessarily made them a European powerhouse. You respect Liverpool for the fact that they are a European giant. Manchester United is not a European giant in terms of Champions League victories. So that entitlement of them of being in the Champions League and contenders, how their fans put them in the favourites race. No. We see you in the final once every 10 years. Right? So you respect Liverpool. You respect Anfield when it comes to Wednesday night or Tuesday night football. Because it's one of the toughest grounds. They've earned their right. They're entitled to be spoken of in this manner. Manchester United, no. And Man City, no. Because I think it's one final, and this is his 6th attempt under him. Under Mancini and under I forgot the coach's name that went to West Ham afterwards, after he left Man City.
Pellegrini.
So yeah, there's been 10 years now that they've tried to, so they will get there one day. He's his be all and end all winning the Champions League. I think the owners at City are quite happy that he doesn't win it, because I think if he wins it, he'll jack it all in at City. He'll move. I think while he isn't winning it, he'll strive for another few years to get there. To get there. So I don't think pressure of the Champions League. He knows he's not a Champions League. He's not a serial winner of the Champions League. He only won it at Barcelona.
At Barca, yeah.
No? I don't think people fear Pep in Europe. Domestically, yes. but not in Europe, because Bayern never got anywhere close to a final under him. City have achieved one final in how many years of trying? So
How many years? I'm just putting in
yeah,
my
he's been
translator,
there.
bro.
Yeah, he's been there for 6 years now, 6 or 7 years now. I think he arrived around about the same time as Klopp.
Yeah. And Klopp won it in.
Klopp's been there 7 years, so he's had 7 years of trying. You know.
Mm. Fair enough. Fair enough. No, I'm loving it, loving it. But one thing that I want to touch on actually. So it was the Amir Khan and Cal Brook fight. I'm sure I'm not gonna get done for copyright for this video. Check this out, my man. I think they could have rather let Phil Foden's mom fight Cal Brook over the weekend because she was on heels and she had more power in her legs and she was throwing and swinging left, right, and center. Check this out, my guy.
Who's calling him? No one. Yeah, fuck off now.
Hey! Don't get cash. Hey! Go man. John! Okay, whilst I'm not an advocate for women abuse, but tell me that Phil Foden's mom is bad, no?
She's bad. She's vicious. She's vicious. That's Manchester for you. That's Manchester for you. I don't know, Dave. If you look at that video, something seems to have happened in him getting to gallery 33 because he looks wound up. He looks angry.
He looks wound up as they're leading him into the.
Yeah. He does kind of look. He looks a bit, disturbed. But we don't know. We don't know what caused it. How people are not, throwing abuse at him. I mean, it's his mom. She just got punched by somebody.
Exactly.
He got abuse. They called him whatever they called him under the sun. But I know people are going to say, as a footballer, you should know how to behave him. Blah blah blah. Listen, we're human.
Nah, but it's your
They're
mom,
human,
bro.
we're human. It's his mom.
Exactly. It's his
It's
mom.
crazy. It's crazy. Good. It's a good laugh, but look, they punched his mom. I don't sit well with that. He doesn't seem the type to go out and look for these kind of things. He's not an angel. We know the Greenwood incident with England, getting kicked out, but yeah, I don't think he deserves any flack for that at all.
Do you think footballers are being targeted when they go out?
Yeah, I mean, if you look, they're being targeted in all corners, and I want to be controversial. The amount of alleged rape cases coming left, right, and center against footballers from females. We can't say it's not true. I've witnessed firsthand the way footballers operate. Also, in nightclubs and things, entitlement, money, their disrespect and their disregard for how they speak to women. So, can we sit here and say that these kind of things are far from the truth? No. But are some people milking? We hope that they're not. But some of these allegations, are they milking it? Because I've seen one person gets paid out for allegations, and now it's a quick way to make a few £1,000.
Exactly.
Is to spin a story. The house break-ins, players being targeted by thugs, being broken into. Uzil and Kolasinac were attacked.
Exactly the same thing, bro.
They were attacked. Dele Alli got attacked. There's a couple of players in and around London. Jordan Pickford. I don't know what happened to that case. He got attacked outside a club. He stood up for himself.
He got abused at that fight as well. Afterwards, when he left Pickford.
Jordan Pickford.
Yeah, at the fight, there's a video where he was getting into the car.
Yes,
and then he got abused as well.
Yes, yeah. So, but again, Dev, footballers they are human. They so you can't tell them not to have a life when it comes to this. But you never saw David Beckham in these kind of things. You never saw Dennis Bergkamp embroiled in things like this. Thierry Henry. You know, it's a case of the real big fish of players. You know, big status, big performers, big individuals. They don't get caught up in stuff like this. It's the ones that are trying to get there. Social media today is more prevalent than what it was back then. We've got to acknowledge that as well.
Of course.
But the women and footballers thing has been coming on from George Best's days. It's not a 2022 thing.
Nothing new.
That is nothing new. Where it's gone now is something that was bound to happen. This was bound to happen. Women coming forward. I've been raped. Pay me and I'll keep quiet. This is bound to happen because footballers do this week in, week out. So yeah, they are targeted, but stay at home, guys. Stay at
Fair
home.
enough. Couldn't agree with you more, my brother. Could not agree with you more. The other thing which also I found funny as well is I don't know if you heard Ben Wood was making meow sounds to Kurt Zuma over the weekend and he even complained to the ref. Can you imagine a footballer if Foden straps up to him, the man's gonna tell him, hey, go fit down, your mom is not here to protect you, my man.
That's gonna happen. That's gonna happen.
But it happens on the football pitch. It happens, bro. That happens. Anyway, let's get into the other weekends.
But just sorry, Ben, you say that. Premier League 1999 after the 98 World Cup, David Beckham being sent off. The abuse he got. I was in the stand. I went to United game, heard the abuse that he got by his child, his wife, but he did not react in a way. We're talking about the biggest football star in that time in world football. Right?
Exactly.
The biggest image that you could get before you get your Ronaldos and your Messis and whatever. He was the biggest thing in terms of most marketable sportsman.
He was.
He handled himself. That eventually turned into them loving him. What did he do?
Him.
Sent him into the World Cup 2002, the free kick at Old Trafford against Greece, as captain,
winning the treble.
Haircut. They went on to win. He won the treble before that. So again, you're gonna get abuse. No, I don't think people will get the abuse that he got, but he held his head high.
Exactly.
He held his head high. And what helped was he was playing in a team that was just winning everything before them. So at the end of the day, he just pointed to his medals and his trophies and eventually he had to shut up about it. I think that's what Phil Foden needs to do. Get your head down. Whatever you're going to get. You're winning the league year in, year out. Just put your head down.
Exactly. And grind it out. Let's get on to the other fixtures of this weekend. I want to ask you, Leicester looks set for another rebuild because Brenda's in the mud. Do you think Brenda Rodgers is going to get the sack next, my bro?
Start of the season, I said he is a 2-year coach. Everywhere he's gone, he's performed well for 2 seasons. That's the 3rd season. He's got third season syndrome. I think Leicester is not a firing club. He's at a right club. That's what.
Because where can he go after this?
I think he will. There's enough teams in the Premier League that he can go to, but he also kind of sees himself as I need to go with his money. I'm Brendan Rodgers. He kind of has that about him that he won't go to a club that doesn't have funds to spend because he sees himself as being the kind of coach who can break into the top 4. So yeah, I think there'll be enough work out there. It's up to him what job he decides to pick, but I think he's gonna go. I think for the good of Leicester, he needs to go.
Hey, Chad, I wouldn't. I'll take him over Teta any day of the week, but that's not going to happen because they're giving him 3 more years. I don't know how. I've never seen Usain Bolt.
What's your view? Let me ask you a question. This is your part. Let me ask you your question. Your views on Arteta's new contract.
I just feel it's rewarding mediocrity. When have you ever seen Usain Bolt get given a gold medal before he finishes a race? For me personally, a contract is something that you reward once you've done something. Actually, this manager has given us 2 eighth place finishes. We were in Europa. He's taken us out there, and now I'm hearing fans saying that ending 6th is progress. It's not. We literally came out there. You have no European football. You're out of both cup competitions. There can be no excuse. He's fallen out with so many players already. Where have you seen a young coach fallen out with so many players? But personally, I think it's a business move. I think he's a yes man. Arsenal fans were twanged a couple of weeks ago when you saw Arteta sitting in the stadium next to Krunker. They were said, yes, he went there to go ask for money for a striker. No, they were renegotiating a new deal for him.
Yeah, because that came just after that, eh?
Excuse me?
The contract came just after that meeting. When the picture that was, and then it was said he's got a contract.
Exactly. Jade says if he doesn't make top 4, he should be sacked. I agree with that. Henri said if he doesn't get top 4, it's a failure. Bram, look at it like this. When Conte, look, I know we don't have the squad upon the level of a Chelsea after Chelsea ended 11th in the league. I know that. I get that. But Chelsea ended 11th, and next year without European football, they won the title. Liverpool, the exact same thing. Liverpool weren't in Europe with Suarez, Sterling, and Sturridge. They nearly won the league, but they were in the top 4. Now, I understand we have a young team, but that's his young team that he has built right then and there. So all of those players is his players. He's decided to go with this option. So for me, no top 4, sacked. But because he's a yes man, they're just going to run with it. And I foresee winter coming very, very soon. Look, it's typical. That's exactly what we're going to do. They're waiting for a good run of form to announce it, and then everything is going to be hunky-dory. The PR at this football club, which is Arsenal FC, it's unrivaled. It's something I've never seen before. But yeah. I've never seen a manager so protected by a fan base in my life. When Unai Emery was slated for ending 6th and 5th, Wenger was hounded out for 6th, and I was one of those that wanted Wenger out because it was time to go. We needed to go on another rebuild and start over again. But the protection that this manager gets, I've never seen it in my life, my brother. Honestly,
it would have made sense if his contract was signed in the summer.
In the summer,
because exactly. They would have given them time to evaluate the progress. Was the progress in terms of player personnel?
Exactly.
Who can they bring in? In other words, go and look who wants to play for Mikel Arteta. Exactly. What they basically said is that what they're saying now is that he's going to be there for 3 years. This is what they are happy with, the progress of the young players. Be careful that they're not building portfolios to sell these young players and make money.
That's the thing. Now that was the next thing which I was going to bring on to, which I was actually going to hop on. I don't see Martinelli, Saka, and Smith Rowe staying there beyond 2 more years at our football club. They will cash in and sell those players. Look, the narrative is already, we've cut our wage bill. All of a sudden, certain Arsenal fans, not all, have now become accountants. That's a positive. We've cut our wage bill. Then, tying into that, the season ticket prices have gone up. We're dropping new kits every month. We're dropping a new kit. We have more kits than wins probably this year already. So I think it's a money-making gimmick, to be honest. That's the way they're looking at it. He makes them money. If we can get them into Europe, that's more money in their pocket.
Look at the link. Joe Lewis. Kroenke.
You
see the link?
Exactly.
Joe Lewis. Exactly. People think Daniel Levy is the owner of Spurs. It's not. It's Joe Lewis. Daniel Levy is his puppet, right? But Levy's strong enough to be wealthy enough within his own accord. Exactly. Alan Sugar, the former chairman, is still on the board, who is also in partnership with Kroenke and Gazidis. No? Is Ivan Gazidis?
Yeah. Gazidis.
So look at Spurs. Spurs' focus is NFL football. the NFL Super Bowl is as rumors is going to be held at the Tottenham Stadium. Of all the
I
stadiums
heard
in
that.
the world,
I heard
in
that.
the world, you pick
I heard that
the
one as well.
Tottenham Stadium to have the Super Bowl final is earmarked to be there, right? So bear in mind, if Joe Lewis's team makes the final, it's going to be played there on his home ground, his stadium. You look at Arsenal, they've now adopted the Spurs thing: groom them young, sell them on. That's the motto: groom them young, sell them on. And the two clubs are run by business partners, rivals with business partners. So in other words, there's don't be surprised if there's no rivalry in 5 years' time between the two
There
clubs.
won't be. There won't be.
There'll be no rivalry anymore. We'll imagine this rivalry that there is. It's like Leeds and United. It's imaginary rivalry. It's gone. That ship sailed.
It's done. It's done.
And it's because we've been done in by how do you make your pockets grow off the field.
True.
On the field means nothing anymore for these owners.
It's nothing. It's all about money, my bro.
Yeah, and what Arsenal are gonna do? You're probably gonna be. Look at Spurs. We spend more money on bringing in a coach than what we do on players. Daniel Levy will rather pay, like with Jose Mourinho. People are shocked that it cost Spurs X amount of money to get Mourinho and to fire him. He'll rather spend that on one person. Imagine if he needs to spend it on 3, 4, 5 players.
Exactly.
That's 3 times what he's going to spend. So the 20 million he paid Mourinho off is better than 120 million if 4, 5, 6 players want to leave, or spending it on bringing them to your club. That's not gonna calculate well. I think it was planned to get Aubameyang off the books. That was a planned thing, to get him off the books.
Look, another thing, you know what's so identical is the fact that the other day Kroenke has now said he's going to give us money to paint the Emirates on the outside. I don't know if you see what the mural looks like. The mural on the outside.
Because that's gonna get you in the top 4. Paint.
Exactly, that's my thing. Like Paul Merson summed it up perfectly. Forget the outside, forget the inside, whatever you're going to do inside the screen or whatever. Sign players to get us into the top 4, more revenue. It makes sense.
That's exactly the point that it comes to. If you look at Roman Abramovich, it's all about on the field. For as an owner, again, he's not the owner. He's more the guy controlling the shots at Chelsea.
Exactly.
He's more in tune with his supporters and what they want on the field than the people that run Chelsea Football Club. So I don't know if the viewers out there understand that Daniel Levy is not the owner of Spurs. Kroenke is not the owner of Arsenal.
He's not the owner.
Roman Abramovich is not the owner of Chelsea. In the sense of he owns the majority shares in Chelsea in terms of expenditure, but he doesn't run the club as such.
Exactly.
Okay, so same as with Gazidis and Kroenke, same as it happens with Levy at Spurs, is that it's run by, obviously Spurs has a lot of Jews. It's run by a lot of Jews. Alan Sugar being one of them. Sits on the panel, but Joe Lewis is the man behind what money gets spent and what Levy must make back. Man City, the Arabs, whatever the club needs on the field is what they spend. Newcastle are going to be the same, but they're not going to be title contenders or anything of that sort because nobody wants to go and play there. But those are the type of owners that the Arab owners. What do you need on the field? We'll go and get it for you. Bring success, bring trophies. Like they always say, slums is most breakerig, man. You know. so the Arabs want to show off their title. They want to show. They don't want to show what's in their bank accounts. They want to show the silver and the gold.
Exactly.
You know?
Facts. Couldn't agree with you more.
Small little things like that we look at and people will probably laugh at it. But that is the thing. PSG is all about winning the French league year in, year out. Their strive is the Champions League. Arsenal and Spurs have no ambition to win the Champions League. If we get there, great. Well done. Profit.
Just a participation.
Yeah, profit.
Sad.
It's sad where we're at. It's very sad where the two football clubs find themselves today.
True. Couldn't agree with you more. Before we get into the midweek preview, Newcastle look to be staying up. Lampard showing his Frankenstein colors. You think Everton could get dragged into that race?
No.
No?
They'll be close, but they won't go down. Why they won't go down for me is the striker needs to. He'll start scoring goals. He will. He will. He will. He will save them. Calvert-Lewin. He's come close. I think his injury. I don't know if. Do you suspect his recovery was hastened to come back?
It
He
was.
doesn't. He doesn't
It
look
was. It definitely was.
100% fully fit. Like it's as if he's not committing himself 100% to the game.
Definitely.
But a player of his caliber, he'll score the necessary goals. They're a bit up and down, topsy-turvy, but he will be standing on the magic there. They've got Donny van de Beek. Daddy will start playing. I think they've got enough in their arsenal to survive. They'll do
Fair
well.
enough. Who do you see going down though?
The three at the bottom, as is Watford, Norwich, and Burnley.
Me also. Me also.
Although Burnley,
Although
have drawn a lot of games, they haven't lost a lot of games. They've drawn a lot of games. Don't be surprised to see Leeds dropping in, and Brentford. Those two,
dragged in
you
there.
know,
I think Brentford though.
dragged in there. I don't know. There's all hype about Brentford at the start of the season. There's a lot of hogwash. They're poor side.
Yeah. Nah, I think Burnley just have that shit housing weight to just stay up, man. I mean, that Vego signing is an awesome signing for them as well. But there, Joy even said Calvert-Lewin was 60% fit, so makes sense. Midweek preview: Burnley versus Spurs, my brother. Talk to me. How you feeling about tonight? Prediction. It is a tough fixture, Bram.
Listen. It's either going to go 3-2 Spurs
you,
or 2-2. We can't defend set pieces, and they know that.
Exactly.
I see that the big guy up front making it tough. 2-2.
Sure.
2-2.
I see you guys winning, nicking that one. Kainen's on doing madness. Kulusevski, Bentaker doing. I see you guys winning them. Pool versus Leeds.
Is that at Anfield? Or Elland Road?
Yeah, at Anfield.
Anfield, 5 or 6, you know.
Same. Champions League, United versus Atleti.
Atletico to win. Atletico to win tonight. Atletico to win the tie.
Their form is a bit sus this season, though.
Yeah, but who they're playing? That the team whose performance has been worse. Listen, I'm not anti. I'm not anti Man United. But again, we've got to get away from this big clash. United Atletico. It's not a big clash. That's basically Ronaldo against Atletico, because he's carried them on a Wednesday night.
True.
He's carried them on a Wednesday night.
Arsenal Wolves. How do you see how that's one?
Arsenal 2-1.
You think so?
Yeah. Chelsea slump. Chelsea won what? Their first game after that, 2 losses, 5 draws, and then they won a game. What's your worst spell been this season?
I think after we lost,
it was those first 3 games that you lost.
The first three, and then we lost to United and Everton consecutively.
And that's it. We take our eyes off the fact Chelsea had an 8-week run without winning a game of football in the Premier League. Right? You look at you look at how you guys come back. You lost. You got smashed by Liverpool. I think 5-0. And the following week you won.
Yeah, 4-0.
Yeah, 4-0. Is for me, Arsenal bounce back. Okay, this is what I don't know what Atit is doing, but give him credit. He's doing something right with those boys. In terms of mentally, mentally they get tuned in. They pick themselves up, week in, week out. And that is the thing. Sometimes the exuberance of youth is your strength, and not. They probably don't get away with it next year if they don't get experience. But for this year, they're riding the wave. They're riding it, and they're not. Listen, they're not fortunate. They're not clinging on to victories. Your defense is actually really good, Gabriel, Ben White, because there's space in that defense. Tomiyasu, there's legs, there's speed, there's space. Yeah, people will catch on how to expose your defense, but they haven't done it yet. So make hay while the sun shines.
Look, I want to ask you a question before we dip out. Do you think we have a disciplinary problem? Because of all the red
I think that you are being. Can I say victimized? I think you guys are being affiliated
would you
by
say that
referees.
though?
Yes.
We mocked. Would you say we rather mocked him? I don't want to say there's a conspiracy against us. I think we are a mock team though.
Yeah, I think you guys are a mock team.
Do you think so?
I don't think it's that bad. I don't think your discipline is that bad. Carnage is. He just literally is, because I don't think he cares.
He's a mock.
But I think Arsenal are sort of zoomed in for a lot of things that are not necessary.
Fair enough.
Because listen, Harry Kane, Liverpool tackle on Robertson. Red card, not a red card. The red card. There were some tackles made by Dyer, made by Romero on Saturday as well. I thought Romero was going to see a red early in the second half. He went through the back of somebody. His tackle in the derby also. He kicked one of your players. He did it against early on in the season as well. We lost at home against West Ham, and he stamped on someone. If I was Arsenal player, it's a red. So yeah, I think certain clubs get away with certain things.
Fair enough. I always wanted to ask you that question.
Like at Old Trafford for years. What was it? 13 years without conceding a penalty.
Yeah, no.
Listen, these things happen in English football. There's certain things that are very predictable in English football. And United fans can't argue. How do you sleep at night knowing for 13 years no one got a penalty against you on your home ground?
It is what it is, my bro. It is what it is. But we've come to the end. Final thoughts, Bram?
Final thoughts for this week coming. Is it the derby, Man City United this weekend?
No, it's next weekend.
Next weekend. I'm keen to see West Ham, Spurs, and Arsenal. Spurs have Leeds. Arsenal, you guys play. I know you guys have.
We don't play the weekend. We don't play.
Chelsea and Liverpool are not playing. You don't play, because of the Carabao. Because that is your game. That's your outstanding game. So Carabao Cup final this weekend. Yeah, it's interesting what's going to happen with the West Ham, Spurs, and Wolves. The pressure they're going to put on you. That is why this weekend's fixtures, in terms of the top four race, is critical. Because you might find an easy passage to, if all three of us drop points this weekend, you might find coming into your next league game that there's a lot of breathing space for you.
That's the thing. Like
big.
I said to everybody, I don't care how we get over the line now. That's squeaky bum time now for me. Sorry not to use the cliche. But now all that matters is the results now. It's getting to that point now. Your prediction, Carabao Cup final. Let me just squeeze a prediction at you.
Liverpool for me. I can't give you a result. There's going to be penalties. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
There's a meme that came out about Tuchel and Klopp. Is that in Thomas Tuchel's year and a half, he's won 70% of the same amount of trophies as Klopp. And people went haywire with this, Liverpool fans. Some that I work with, some that I know, some outside of work. They went frantic about how can you even compare the two, etc., blah, blah, blah. Staggering stat. Jurgen Klopp has only won. I don't think you can call the Super Cup really. It's almost like calling it the Charity Shield, the trophy. You know?
I know what you mean. But you have to be in it to win it, though, Bram. You have to be in it to win it. You have to win the Champions League.
Okay.
To get
now, let's come back. Thomas Tuchel. He took over Frank Lampard's team. Lampard had them. Lampard had them in the quarterfinals. He still had to get to the final and win it.
Mm-hmm.
The World Club trophy, he still had to get there and win it. Nothing was given to him on a silver platter. Is it fair to compare the two coaches? I say by all means, you can. The one argument is Tuchel didn't have to build a squad. He inherited a squad from Lampard.
That's the thing. They came from a 220 million spending spree as well.
Klopp had to build a squad. But he's built 2 trophies in 7 years. Hear me carefully.
No, I'm listening to you. Because I wanted to actually jump on the pod and I want to hear what the beast
guys
are going to say about this actually.
He's built 2 trophies. No, he's built 2 trophies in 7 years. Tuchel has taken over. What has he built is inherited. Doesn't mean that that what he inherited meant a final. Ryan Mason came to Spurs. His first game in charge was a Carabao Cup final. If we had to win the final, I would say that is a different equation. You know, that exactly. He took over a team in the final. Thomas Tuchel took over. They were in the quarterfinals. They weren't even in the semi-final yet. What did he have to build? You can't. Jurgen Klopp knew what he was going into when he signed the contract at Liverpool.
I hear you.
Do you understand? So it's all about the meme. So your opinion on that? Some say you can't compare the two. I say you can. You can because I love Jurgen Klopp. I love the football. I love what he does. I love the fact that his game is so simple, and he says, "Beat me if you can." Right? Beat me if you can. Because that was Alex Ferguson. For me, it's a replica of Alex Ferguson. Ferguson played 4-4-2. There was nothing different. These are my wingers. This is my midfield. Beat me if you can. Right? So here's my thing. I love Jurgen Klopp. But 7 years, 2 trophies. I said it on the Reds table before. Well, Liverpool fans still want Jurgen Klopp there in 2 years' time if they still are only Premier League runners-up, Champions League semi-finalists. We score 100 goals a season. Salah wins Player of the Year. You remember, he's never won the FA Cup. He's never won the Carabao Cup.
That's this is his first cup. I think Jade mentioned that there's only one domestic trophy.
One domestic trophy. One. Right? So, really? If Mikel Arteta did this at Arsenal, would you want him? 6 years, 1 trophy.
You know how I feel about him. You don't even have to. Should I really answer that question?
but would remember, but if he wins the Champions League, how long would you give him after that?
Look, remember with Liverpool fans as well. He's won them the Champions League. He's taken them to 2 Champions League finals. Won them the Champions League. Won them the league. They missed it on the league 1 year. Liverpool fans have bought into his philosophy as well. Same like us with Wenger at one point. Afterwards, I know what you mean.
And that's the thing. I'm not anti-Liverpool. I'm not criticizing. I'm just as being a realist, being football, we're all football lovers. You have to ask yourself the question: has that 2 trophies bought him a lifetime in the seat? Liverpool fans are very loyal. Liverpool fans will still
they're loyal. They're loyal to him.
They are loyal to that.
And he's back.
But they're loyal. They're loyal. They'll tell you straight. Suarez, they'll still bag him today. They'll take Suarez. Tell him about selling Firmino. They don't want to hear it. Firmino's not past it. They're loyal, and that's good. And that's what a lot of us should be. Is loyal to they're loyal to the hilt where the clubs are, where the club is concerned. But let's be realistic. 2 trophies, 7 years.
I think that's the thing. Like I was gonna bring this point to you actually. Is some different clubs have different models. Like if that's at Chelsea, you know what Roman is doing.
He would have been gone long ago. He would have been gone after the Champions League final. They don't care.
Yes.
He doesn't care. The Russian don't care. If my fans don't like your football, you're gone.
That's the thing. Look, it's a very interesting topic, and I'm actually going to clip it and post it tomorrow when I publish this video on Facebook as well.
You're going to wear Jigga and Beast forcing you to get me on tomorrow night so they can have this.
No, don't worry. I'll tell them now he's busy. Don't worry. Maybe next week. Maybe next week.
Yeah, look. Maybe
But
the
it's-
viewers,
I get
maybe
you
the
guys.
viewers,
It's a very-
maybe the viewers, Benny, if there's Liverpool fans, can share the comments on the topic. There was one, I think that's a Liverpool fan that just posted now saying he never looked at it in that light. So, I'm just gonna say again, would Jurgen Klopp have been in charge of Liverpool or been in charge of PSG, Real Madrid, Barcelona with one domestic trophy in 6 years, besides the sexy football? Besides the sexy football.
They already want to get rid of Ancelotti. Madrid already want to get rid of Ancelotti. Perez wants to get rid. PSG, you know how it goes there with it.
Yeah, no, that's gone. That's the other. Pochettino's gone.
Yeah,
might as well
he's
say
gone,
farewell.
But I mean,
So-
that's a team you can't also management. Like really, that's a double-edged sword. That's a poison channel kind of a job, don't you think?
You know what? It is. But you know, my point on that conversation. Stop throwing Jurgen Klopp in the same conversation as Alex Ferguson, Arsene Wenger. I don't think he should be spoken in the same breath as Carlo Ancelotti. Ancelotti's got 3 Champions League trophies with different clubs. He's got numerous domestic titles. As good as Jurgen Klopp is, as good as I rate him,
and I actually want to do this.
Listen, I rate him. I'm a big fan of his football, but be careful of throwing him in that category. Brian Clough won the Champions League twice, 2 years in a row with Nottingham Forest. Jurgen Klopp doesn't deserve to be in the same conversation as Brian Clough.
True, yeah.
Do you understand? Before we throw people around as being great, let them first achieve it.
I like this debate. Actually. I love this debate.
I think on that note, Dev.
No, but I hear where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I see where you're coming from. And I like this debate, actually. And I think we should actually have the show sometime in next week if we can squeeze it in.
Yeah, definitely.
So I like this debate. Really, I like it. It's gonna open a nice can of worms. It's gonna open discussion. But that's what we're all about. We're all about football debate. I mean, look, even said this conversation needs to happen again. So why not Tuesday? Maybe Tuesday. Thursday,
Yeah, definitely.
You need to come on the quiz, though. I'm having a super ultimate fan quiz lately. I don't know if you've noticed. Benny and Beast were on. So
I've got to represent North London. Bring it. I have to represent my team. If we can't win a trophy on the field, let's win a trophy on Davy TV.
Nah, lovely. Love for that, my bro. Love for that. But my brother, love for coming on. I must admit,
It's been my pleasure, man.
chatting to you. I did not
Definitely.
even realize that an hour went by. They say time flies. Time flies when you're having fun. But love for coming on. This was awesome. It was nice spur of the moment. Love to you guys in the chat. Love to Jade, Evan. Who did I miss? Josh, Walid, of course, Benny B, Beaster in the chat. I'll chat to them tomorrow. I'm actually going to clip that section of you, Bram, and I'm going to raise it to them tomorrow. And yeah, what they have to
No worries,
say,
man. No problem.
And then we'll obviously have that debate. But love for jumping on, my bro. I really
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
it. Love.
Thank you to all
Love
the
to you
viewers.
guys in the comments. You know what to do. Like the thing, share the thing, subscribe to the thing. We will be back tomorrow night again with a podcast.
Hopefully you'll see me tomorrow, guys. Maybe you'll see me tomorrow.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Look, I always say family comes first. You're going away with family. If you can jump on, you're more than welcome to. If not, spend time with your family, my brother. Spend time with your family. Love for my having an awesome chat. We're definitely going to have this North London Carnage soon. Again, of course.
Derby. Listen, Derby night. This got to happen.
Derby night, definitely. Derby night, definitely. But although I think they'll throw that game later in the season, just the Prem.
Yeah, but it's going to be a midweek game.
That'll be a midweek game. But again, Bram, I appreciate you jumping on, my brother. It was an awesome chat as always. Love for the love, people. We'll see you tomorrow night. Of course, Stephen. That's Bram The Hotspur, DVD. We're out of here.
See you guys.